As a part of the RCAH curriculum, each student is required to take a civic engagement and reflection course. This particular engagement course, taught by Patty Rogers, partnered with Cumberland Elementary School in Lansing to run an after-school program based on an initiative called It's Great to Be a Girl. This program involves working with pre-adolescent girls to help build self-esteem at a critical moment in their development. I am here with seniors Alyssa and Olivia, whom participated in the course in 2010. Tell me about the general structure of each session at Cumberland.
Okay, so each workshop or each day would have a theme, and we would only go in once a week. So it would be something like body image or friendships or bullying, and we would come in and start off with an icebreaker activity, which was a lot of times a game to get them moving, to get them comfortable. We'd give them a snack because they a lot of times had been at school all day with just their lunch, and they're always hungry. So we would get a snack and they would get a snack, and we would just sit down and kind of get comfortable with each other. And then we would move into small groups where we would do small group activities. So it was, and then talk about things to get them engaged that way. So we would ask them really specific questions or have them do a drawing. The activities were really specific to what we were doing, but they were always really interactive, and got them to start thinking about how they felt, and then we would move back into big groups and kind of share the different small group experiences, and get to talk to each other about what each other were thinking. And then we would do kind of like a big group get-together dance party to Miley Cyrus at the end, Hannah Montana, which was the best part.
So what were these fifth graders like?
You had, what was her name, Haley?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of good stories and a couple bad stories. Not necessarily bad, but eye-opening experiences. You don't really look at fifth grade girls automatically and think, wow, your life must be really complicated because they're in fifth grade. But we did run into a lot of situations that I didn't expect. There was a couple times where there were red flags with one of the girls, just kind of with depression issues or a little bit of mental health issues with one student, which actually ended up being part of something bigger that everybody knew in the school that was going on. So the teachers and her parents and everybody knew about it, and it just kind of came out in our sessions because it was a safe space. And then there was another girl in one of the groups who had been bullied by a lot of people in school, and that ended up coming out, and we got a chance to deal with it at the sessions. And there was a girl who was a bully who we got to kind of talk through it.
Sounds like you were able to deal with the good and the bad. These sessions didn't always go as smoothly as planned. Many times these girls didn't understand the subjects the RCAH students were trying to discuss, like media brainwashing.
It was always interesting to hear their first responses to things and just to be able to separate like what they were saying with what they actually meant.
We did one activity where it was about body image, and first of all, they had no idea what body image was. We had a whole different thing going on than they did, and we asked them, one of the activities was to write down something that people have made you feel bad about or that you feel bad about your body, and maybe why you feel bad about it. And they were like, well, what do you mean? We don't understand, something like that. And I was like, well, maybe somebody would say, like, I don't like my legs. I think my thighs are really big. And so instead of getting honest responses back, because they still didn't really understand and we weren't doing a very good job of explaining it, we just got back 4 responses that all said, I don't like my legs. So there was a lot of stuff like that where we just didn't really meet eye to eye.
For many students in the RCAH, one of the best parts of their engagement experience is the travel to and from the engagement site. In this particular 292B, many students had their first exposure to an extreme feminist. One of the course's graduate students drove one of the vehicles, expressing stories about her experience dancing with the girl at the prom and the many years she has gone without shaving her armpits. Other students found this travel time to be a great opportunity for reflection.
I mean, it was nice just to be able to, go there and you could kind of talk about, what we were going to be doing and, just get warmed up that way instead of going there and just being like, I don't know what's going on. And then it was nice coming back. You could just kind of recap and start talking about what had happened before you actually get to class. So it was more of a small group discussion.
And how did this engagement course fit in with your overall RCAH experience?
Well, it was the civic engagement part of the RCH. In the 292 series, 292A was not particularly engaging. It was a lot of talk and no action, which is frustrating when you're learning about action. And so then 292B was really a good change from that, and a chance to both be active and be reflective, and kind of to balance those two things out. And it ended up being a bridge for me into a 292C class to work on It's Great to Be a Girl a little bit more. And so it was one of my favorite classes I've taken in the RCH. Probably one of the best experiences, and I talk about it a lot in job interviews, actually.
Yeah. For me, it was actually like kind of what helped me get direction in what I was doing with the RCH, because it helped me realize that I wanted to be able to help girls like that and work with like nonprofits such as It's Great to Be a Girl, and just be able to make a difference for just the youth in our world. That sounds really cheesy. But so then following up with that, I went into Donna Kaplowitz's 292B, which was working in public schools. And that led to like another really awesome experience, and it's just given me that one class gave me a lot of direction on where I wanted to go with my degree.
Did you feel like you really had an impact on the community?
I mean, even though we were only there for a semester, it felt like we had at least planted some seed in their thoughts about like what was going on, and like critical thinking, not really actually getting to that point, but like, I don't know, they were starting to think about it.
Yeah, and actually I remember one of the girls in our small group, and I can't remember her name, but she was probably, I really shouldn't say that, but she was my favorite. And she was just really sweet. She was not going to get in the cat fights. She was not involved in any of it. And she was raised by her aunt. And then right at the end of our engagement experience, her aunt was killed in a car accident. She crashed with a deer or something like that and ended up dying. And so we, as like the femters, our class, all wrote her like, a little letter, and then I got to take them over to the school and give them to her, and that was really, really sweet. And like seeing all of them again, they're like, wait, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? Why haven't we seen you? We're like, oh, we love you too. and getting to kind of see that we had planted a seed of something and created relationships that maybe aren't ever going to come up again, but hopefully that they'll think about like one day, and that, I think that was probably my favorite part.
These students spent an entire fall semester teaching these girls about these issues. Now, in the fall of 2011, a new group of RCH students have returned to Cumberland Middle School to teach a new group of 5th graders about these issues. And now, a song by Hannah Montana to close out Act 3. Just Like It's Great to Be a Girl would end every Monday evening.